everyone, and welcome back to another video where today I wasn't expecting to be recording this early, but the BBC press office have made an announcement of a new spin-off they plan to make for Doctor Who, and this wasn't an announcement I was expecting. For context, there was a tweet going around last night by an account called Back the BBC saying that an announcement would be made on the future of Doctor Who very, very soon, and that it wouldn't be cancellation. Now, whether this is that announcement or whether that announcement will still come later on, I don't know, but we do have a new spin-off, and yeah, it's not something I was expecting, but it actually sounds pretty cute. So let's just get right into it. Subscribe if you're new, that'd be greatly appreciated. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers, and any support would be greatly appreciated, but let's dive right in. The BBC is expanding the Whoniverse with plans for a brand new preschool animation series which will see the Doctor's adventures come to CBeebies for the first time ever. Doctor Who, the TARDIS, is set to land on CBeebies. The BBC is looking for a production company to create and produce the series, which will run independently from the main show. Everyone is welcome at CBeebies, including the Doctor. This much-loved franchise entertains millions around the world, so it's only right for younger audiences to get to experience the wonder and the magic of the Doctor in a brand new format. This is an extremely exciting opportunity, and we look forward to welcoming companies to pitch for this new project as we continue our commitment and investment in the UK's animation industry. That's by Patricia Hidalgo, Director of Children's and Education. The BBC is set to expand the Whoniverse as it launches a brand new preschool animation series, which will see the Doctor's adventures come to the CBeebies for the first time ever. The BBC is looking for a passionate production company to create and produce the series, which will run independently from the main show. That will see the Doctor travelling through space and time for the preschool audience, solving mysteries and problems alongside their companions and other friends. And of course, they may come up against one or two challenges on their way. And we actually do have the pitch from the BBC to animation companies to make this show, and obviously there's some new details in this that I want to read. So yeah, basically this is the invitation to companies to pitch their vision of an animated CBeebies Doctor Who spin-off. And it says, Section A, the commissioning opportunity. Doctor Who preschool animation. CBeebies is looking to commission one series of 52 times 11 episodes, 26 episodes for transmission in 2027-2028, and 26 episodes for transmission 28-29. We anticipate pre-production would therefore need to begin in January 2026. So they are planning to get this off the ground pretty quickly. And 52 episodes is quite a few, obviously 26 per go. And it says, I think that means 11 minutes per episode, which is about average for like animated stuff. I remember when I was watching some of the stuff on Cartoon Network as a kid, that would be around 11 minutes long. So that makes sense. Editorial brief. Doctor Who is an iconic character with a 60-year history within British TV and culture, who is also known around the world. In addition to the flagship live-action series, there have also been many Whoniverse extensions for both core audiences and those of a different demographic, including Class for BBC Three and the Sarah Jane Adventures for CBBC. We are commissioning a new animated Doctor Who series for CBeebies. This interpretation of Doctor Who should be appropriate for the CBeebies audience. We are keen to retain the following attributes. The Doctor is hugely intelligent, especially with scientific knowledge, is aspirational for our audience, travels through time and space, saving individuals, civilisations and planets, is an alien with two hearts from the planet Gallifrey, has a moral compass, avoids physical combat, relying on intelligence, humour and diplomacy to resolve conflicts, has a TARDIS and a sonic screwdriver, which should feature in the series. The Doctor will attract a range of friendly and relatable companions who join in on the adventures and provide additional points of view as they collectively solve problems. It also wouldn't be Doctor Who without villains and monsters, but these should be more mischievous or bumbling rather than menacing, and provide the Doctor with challenges that can overcome in a non-threatening way. A list of existing villains and foes for you to choose from will be provided to suppliers who register to pitch. We are open to your vision of animation style or styles that will allow you to bring Doctor Who to life. For a younger audience of 4 to 6 year olds, the order is for 52 11-minute episodes, but we are open to exploring two-parters where this would benefit the narrative. When developing your proposal, please also consider additional suggestions for new ways to engage the audience and strengthen brand loyalty. We are looking for creative and talented producers who are passionate about Doctor Who and can re-envision the character and world for younger audiences. The story should be simple, adventurous, and energetic with empowering messages woven seamlessly into the plot. Moral lessons and educational themes could also be introduced, but never to detriment of fun, action, and age-appropriate humour. So that's the pitch, essentially, that they are sending out to animation houses, and they plan to get this going for January 2026. So yeah, this says a few things to me. First of all, I think this is actually a really good idea on its own. We've spoken before about how one of the BBC's biggest moneymakers outside of Doctor Who is Bluey, and that obviously appeals largely to a preschool audience. So the idea of them doing an equivalent of that, but for Doctor Who, actually makes a lot of sense. And doing it as an animated thing, I think is a great idea. Obviously, it does show that the Whoniverse is still a thing and is still going to expand. Obviously, we now have the main show, obviously War Between Land and the Sea, which is our older spin-off. And we now have this, which seems to be like a Doctor Who animated series for younger kids. So we've sort of, got 3 different spin-offs sort of coming along, just like we did in the old days, really, which is very interesting. But yeah, I actually think that this is a pretty good idea and sounds really cute, and I'll be interested to see how it comes out and what animation styles they choose, and also, like, what Doctor they have frontlining it. Will it be an existing Doctor, or will it be, like, their own Doctor of their own design, their own version of the Doctor and their own companions, which will make it fun for Doctor Who fans, I'm sure, to try and fit them into the canon, which will be very funny. I'll definitely watch this whenever it comes out, even though I'm definitely not going to be the target audience, but I'll be curious to see how they translate Doctor Who over to a CBeebies show. But the other thing that I think this proves is the BBC wouldn't be announcing this if the main show was set to be canned. I don't know why you would announce a further expansion of Doctor Who into the preschool market if the main show itself wasn't planned to continue in some form. This suggests to me that, yes, the main show will continue. Obviously, we don't know yet whether that's with Disney internationally or with somebody else, or just the BBC on their own. But I think the fact that they are pitching to do another spin-off for Doctor Who, and quite a few episodes as well, 52 episodes, so 26 episodes a year, is quite a lot. Obviously, I know they're only 11 minutes long, but even still, that's quite a big commission. They really want to push this. Makes me wonder as well if this could potentially be like a further merchandise stream of Doctor Who as well. Obviously, Bluey has quite extensive merchandise, and that's one of the big ways that they make money off of that. And I can imagine a more child-friendly version of Doctor Who being quite a merchandise powerhouse if it was done right. That back to BBC account has said, "This appears to be the teased Doctor Who announcement. It's returning as a cartoon. This will be disappointing for most, I suspect, but it's separate to the main show where there is no news yet." So that's important to say. This is not a replacement for the main show. This is a spin-off, separate thing for children of a certain age. To be honest, I think this actually sounds like a pretty cool idea. Obviously, I'm sad that this wasn't an announcement to do with the main show's future, but given that they have specifically said that this is a separate pillar from the main show, that does indicate to me that the main show is going to continue. Because as I said, I don't see the logic in announcing that you're planning to do a CBeebies animated spin-off when the main show is going to be cancelled. It just doesn't really make any sense to me. But yeah, I think my main takeaway from this is that the BBC still seem incredibly committed to Doctor Who as a brand, expanding it now into a child-centric, 4 to 6 year old CBeebies animated spin-off, and kind of shows that no matter how much the older fans may moan and grumble, doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts about this. Will your kids watch it? If you've got kids in the comment section, let me know. Also, it would be very funny if they adapt existing Doctor Who stories. I can't wait for the CBeebies adaptation of Caves of Androzani. That's going to be great. Subscribe if you're new, like if you enjoy, and I'll see you later.